What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, it's no accident. I know why you're here. Because you're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. So you are in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real. And I want to give a quick shout out to all the new subscribers, man. I just want to thank you guys and everybody who's been rocking with your boy, man. It's been a beautiful ride, and we continuing to press on in 2022. So without further ado, man, let's get into this video, man. Stop being manipulated by women. How not to fall into her emotional traps. Guys, you know women are emotional, and that's how we fall into their traps. They use these emotional devices to get us to do what it is they want us to do. This is a huge problem that's been plaguing men all over the globe. Women manipulating men, bending a man's will in order for that will to conform to what it is she actually wants. The Bible warns us against, giving our strength to women, because this can ruin kings, right? It also says in Proverbs 25:24, it is better to live in the corner of a housetop than in the house shared with a quarrelsome wife. So you got a wife, you got a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, man. Do not allow this woman to manipulate you. Don't do it. Right. And the reason we allow or we tolerate being manipulated to a certain degree is because we want to protect the V-box. We want to protect it. Right. We want to make sure that it's not compromised. And we just give in to every single wish, every single desire that this woman has. And if we're not careful, we end up losing ourselves and losing focus and sight of all reality, right? Because you're being manipulated, you're being dominated, you're being controlled. One of the worst things as a man is to be dominated mentally by a woman, right? You're a man. You're not supposed to be getting dominated by a woman. You're not supposed to get dominated by a woman. We naturally, as men, we think logically and rationally, right? That's just how we're wired. We take the shortest path to our destinations. We don't focus on all the fillers. We just get straight to the point for the most part. Women are more emotional. It's not a knock. It's just a difference in how men are made up and how women are made up. It's just a difference, right? We focus more on facts, logic, reasoning. Not that they don't. It's just that they are more emotional than a man. And it doesn't mean that men aren't emotional. I'm just saying there's a difference in balance and how these hormones play out. Right. But one of the things that we don't want to have is for women to dominate us, to mentally dominate us and manipulate us into doing the things that they want us to do. Because we're so focused on the V-box, or we're so focused on making sure this relationship stays intact to the point to where we sabotage our own lives for the sake of this person. It shouldn't be that way. There shouldn't be any manipulation going on from the woman's side, and it shouldn't be any manipulation going on from the man's side. These two energies are supposed to be working together in harmony, respecting one another, feeding off of one another, building off of one another. It's not supposed to be some chess match where one person is trying to dominate the other. But men in today's age, we are getting throttled. And the reason we're getting throttled because we want to do it. We want to take advantage at all costs. The V-box, that's what we want to do. right? And because that desire is so strong, we get manipulated to her crying, to her nagging, to her doing all these different things. Why are you going over there? Why can't you come home? It's just all these different things. I don't want you to start that business. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a good idea. Can you please stop? And then they stop talking to you. You walk in the house and it's like, what's wrong with you? Right. And they won't say anything. They'll say nothing. And we all know when a woman says nothing's wrong, something's definitely wrong. Right. So now you're left wondering, what is going on with this person? Right. And now you start trying to think and figure out things. And then maybe they tell you, maybe they don't. And now you're all flustered because you're worried about what she's doing. She's not in the mood anymore. You're being manipulated. You're being dominated. But you got to understand something. If your life wasn't controlled by lust, right, that manipulation and that domination stops. It stops. The reason we get manipulated and dominated, man, is because of lust. We want to protect being able to smash and thrash. That's what we want. Right? So when you're dealing with a female, whoever it is in your life, a girlfriend, your wife, whatever the case may be, man, one of the things, the number one way to not fall into her emotional trap is to not play the game. It's simple. It's nothing complicated about it. Don't play the game. I'm not playing the game. I'm not going to play it. You're going to play this game by yourself, and that game is going to get very, very boring for you because I'm not playing it and I'm not being driven by my lust, not being driven by my passion to where I will give in and concede just so I can smash and just so you can get your way. That's me being dominated. That's me lowering my own self-worth. Stop being manipulated and dominated by women. And the only thing you have to do, brother, is stop playing the game. Just stop. You say, well, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you stop playing the game? Okay, you got a girl, she becomes distant. If she wants that space, give it to her. Right? She's not texting you back right away. It's okay. Don't send any more text messages. She's not calling you. She's not trying to meet up. Okay. Fall back. Right? She's making it difficult for you to just fall back. Fall back. The reason you're going to be able to fall back is because you're practicing semen retention. You're practicing semen retention and you're no longer being dominated by dopamine. Right? When somebody sends a text, we want to text right back quickly. That's a dopamine. Right? When you don't get it, you start getting, fidgety. You know what I mean? You start like, oh, man, what's going on? You start wondering, you start thinking. But when you retain, she don't text you back. You should forget about it if she doesn't text you back. Like, I forgot I even sent the text because I didn't hear from her. You're not thinking about that. You're focused on your mission. You're focused on your goal. Do not play her game. Your girl, you guys are going out. She's not talking to you and you ask her, what's wrong? And she says nothing. You say, okay. And you act like nothing ever happened. And you continue going on being the person you are. And guess what's going to happen? She's going to get frustrated and she's going to tell you what it is that's wrong. Right? That's what she's going to do. But if you allow that to affect your disposition and you keep asking her, what's wrong? What's wrong? I know something wrong with you. Right? What's going on? And then she doesn't tell you. Or she drags it and drags it and drags it and drags it out of you. Now you're losing yourself. You're being manipulated. You're being dominated. Stop playing the game. Just stop playing. That's the best, most efficient way how not to fall into a woman's emotional traps. Right? Stop contacting her. Stop calling her. Silence is louder than actual noise. Silence is actually the loudest noise in the universe. People hate silence because silence is frightening. Silence is powerful, right? Don't give into it. If she wants to act crazy, you allow her to do that, but you don't involve yourself with it. You stay on your center. And this is going back to having principles, being able to discern, between good and evil, right? This is how you don't have to worry about being manipulated if you know right from wrong. I'm not saying to ignore your woman just for the sake of ignoring her. Every single thing. Sometimes things are wrong and things need to be addressed, but you have to have the ability to be able to discern what is right and what is wrong. You have, as a man, you have to know how to respond to these things. Don't play the game. Withdraw yourself from the game. Allow her to play that game by herself. I'm not going to waste my whole day. You know, you're leaving to go to work and she says some little comment that just throws your energy off, right? And now all day you're thinking about this. So she sends a text, right, about X, Y, and Z. And then you hit her back. She doesn't respond 2 or 3 hours later. And you're trying to figure out what's wrong, right? And she's acting funny and all these different types of things. Man, don't play the game. Don't play the game. Stand your ground. Stand on your center. Stand in your principles. She'll come around. Or maybe she won't, right? But at the end of the day, you will not be manipulated. You will not be dominated. You can't be dominated as a man. Those brothers who are fapping, those brothers who are releasing, I'm talking about releasing, splattering screens, destroying keyboards, destroying desktops. I mean, making it nasty, black light going crazy in the middle of the night. Listen, those dudes will be manipulated, will be dominated because they crave the V-Box. They'll give money. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll do whatever it is to make this person happy. They're going to put them on a pedestal. And that's when that's when you got the ball and chain, right? The ball and chain, you're jammed up because you're not on your center. Do not allow these women to dominate you, to manipulate you. Don't fall for her emotional traps. The best way to do that is not to play the game. Man, if you're getting value from this video, man, go ahead and hit the like button for your boy. Hit the like button if you're getting value. Come on, man. Subscribe. Listen, don't allow these women to dominate you. Just don't do it. Just don't play the game. That's all you have to do is don't play the game. Don't play the game. You have to stand your ground, and standing your ground is just being bedrocked in your principles. Because once you become emotional like them, now you're becoming feminine, right? Now you're not expressing that true masculinity, you know, where you can't be rocked off your center. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be focused on you, right? And here's the thing. When you start understanding this and you pull back, you know, you go no contact, right? You're like, you know what? I'm going to give you your space. Give women their space. If they want to get into a little funk, a little whatever, give them their space. Just give it to them, right? But don't give them their space. Don't do no contact. Don't withdraw yourself for the purpose of having her come back to you, because that's manipulation. You're doing this because that's just how you are. That's how you rock. That's how you get down. We're not trying to manipulate women. We're not trying to employ a tactic in order to get a reaction, so to speak. We're employing this tactic because we know we can't get knocked off of our center because it's just not what we're supposed to be doing as men. Right. So we're not practicing manipulation. I'm not contacting you. I'm not texting you back. I'm giving you your space not to get you to do something for me. That's manipulation. We're not trying to manipulate. We're not trying to be like them in that regard. I'm just doing this because I have to protect my peace of mind. This has nothing to do with you. It just doesn't. I may love you. I may like you a lot. But this has nothing to do with you. I have to stay on my path, and I'm not going to let you or anyone else get me off of that. That's just what it is. This is how it's going to be. I'm not going to play your game. Now, if you want to have an intelligent conversation, an adult conversation about an issue, we can most definitely do that. I will respond to something like that. But I'm not finna get into these endless, meaningless arguments with you day in and day out. I have too much to do. I just don't have the time to focus on that. I just don't. So apparently something's not right for you. You don't want to tell me what it is. Okay, so go figure it out, right? Or come to me in a respectful way and we can work this out together and get past it. But I'm not going to wake up and fight with you every single day because I'm not going to play the game. Do not play the game. If your life is being dominated by lust, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be really difficult for you. Those of you who are retaining, and I see the comments, you guys are on long streaks. I know you understand what I'm saying. And I know you feel the difference of how you feel with women when they come at you a certain type of way, because you've been retaining and now you have the discipline to know, like, I'm not giving into that. Right. Because the main thing that we struggle with is just being captive by the over sexualization of things and wanting to release, wanting to splatter that keyboard, wanting to splatter that laptop, that desktop, the black top, the stove top, any top, drop top, whatever. We are being dominated by that. Right. But once we start to retain and once we start to understand the power that is inside of us and how to use that energy for our purpose, when these women start doing all of these crazy things, we're not susceptible to it like we were before. We can now have that pause before we actually gear into a unfavorable action and say, you know what, man, I just don't have time for it today. Actually, I don't have time for it any day. You want to act like that? You want to do that? Fine, go do your thing. But I'm not going to allow you to manipulate me, to dominate me. I'm not going to allow you to outman me. You can't outman me. I'm waking up a man every single day. You cannot outman me. I got respect for you. I have love for you. But I will not allow you to dominate me. I will not allow you to cause my life to be engulfed in meaningless quarrels day in and day out. You want to crown my shoulder? You can crown my shoulder. I'm not going to be a jerk, right? I'm just not going to be manipulated, right? Because I know what the principles are that I stand on. I'm able to discern between good and evil, right? So I'm going to know if this is something I should be focusing my attention on or if it's something I should be doing, because I'm understanding my principles and I'm following my principles. And I'm not going to allow you to manipulate me and dominate me. I'm just not going to do it. And you shouldn't either. Just don't play the game. If you don't get anything else from this video, the one thing I want you to take away from it is this. Don't play the game. Don't play the game. Don't play it, and you will not be manipulated and you will not be dominated. But the piece The big piece that comes behind that, in order for you to be able to do that, is, guys, you have to retain and you have to be focused on your mission. If you're giving in to your desires and your sexual appetites, it's going to be very hard for you not to be manipulated and dominated by women. It's just going to be hard, difficult, impossible. You're going to give in because you're going to want to feel the passion for those 2 or 3 seconds more so than you want to stand on your own principles. And that's when there's a huge problem, man. This is Hold My Nuts podcast, man. If you got value, hit the like button, man. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.